I can tell you.
It-
Um,
So
Monday.
the directors will be the second and fourth Monday from at 9 a.m. Central Time. The teacher office hours right now are scheduled for October 11th, October 25th, and October 19th. The ones on the 11th and the 25th will be at 10 o'clock Central Time. The one on the 19th will be 6:30 p.m. Central Time. I know that's a lot for you guys for now, but you will get this sent out to you directly from me. But yeah, we're going to plan to the second and the fourth Monday at 9 a.m. for admin office hours.
Yeah. And our hope is that you guys, if you have questions, if you know, whatever, we're just going to be there available for you so that we can answer whatever questions you have. The way office hours have worked in the past when we've held them is you can just pop on, ask your question, get your answer, and get on with your day. You can stay on the whole time to see what other questions other people have. Depending on those questions, you know, we might share, you know, your data screen or, you know, how to find data or how to run a report or things like that. Kayla and I talked to him, we're going to try really hard not to have, you know, a specific topic at those office meetings because they are, you know, optional and we know you guys are busy. And I know that when our managers have office hours for us, and every time I see a topic, I think, oh my gosh, I have to go because I need to know about that. And then it's kind of not optional and there to support me when I need it. If there is going to be a specific topic, like maybe we've gotten a bunch of questions about a particular thing, then we'll let Shauna know, and you know, she can send out a thing that says, you know, this particular office hour we're going to address such and such because there have been so many questions or whatever. But the main thing is I just want you to know that we will be available for any and all questions that you guys have. Because we definitely want to make sure that you understand what's going on with Ready Rosie and how you can best support your teachers. One thing that I just want to show you one thing that your teachers can do. Shauna, can I share my screen real quickly?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Just because this is one thing in the past that a lot of times we get asked, since we are still, you know, in some ways still going through, as Amy said, the COVIDs, a lot of times your centers are in flux, and sometimes your directors or your site managers need to have access to the teacher's classrooms. And then some of you all just want access to the teacher classroom. And so those teachers, whoever you want to be assigned to, you have to have teacher access. So that teacher would go into her classroom, and then right here it says assign a teacher. And anybody who has teacher access at that particular center will drop down, and then that classroom teacher can just pick the person who you or whoever that person is that needs to be assigned to the classroom, and then click submit, and then you and or whoever that person is automatically then assigned to that teacher's classroom. It's very, very easy to do. And what that means is that if you are assigned to that classroom, then when you go in your right here by your name in the drop down box, you'll see that you'll either have district, school, and then if you have teacher access. So you'll want to make sure that you're in your teacher access. And then when you scroll down, let me move y'all's lovely faces out of the way. When you click on classrooms, when you scroll down, the rooms that you are assigned to will be listed right here under my assigned classrooms. So you can click on that, you can share content, all of those things that the regular classroom teacher is able to do. So that's something that we were asked a lot about last year was, you know, I need to be assigned to my teacher's classrooms, or this teacher left, we don't have a replacement. or is going to leave, can you assign me to the classroom? I can always assign you to a classroom, but sometimes it might be faster if the teacher is still there for her to go in and just click assign a teacher and then go and choose your name. So what other, or while you're thinking about questions, I do just want to emphasize again, I think I've said it on a lot of the trainings, that Ready Rosie's purpose, in addition to being a family engagement platform and sharing those modeled moments with your families and getting them to do the activities, we really are trying to take things off your teachers' plates. And so if you're going to be doing a family event, look at our family event planning sheet and the videos that we recommend, that we suggest you use. If you're going to be doing a family workshop anyway, look at our list of family workshops and give me 10, because we provide everything that you need for those things. So before you do something at your center, think, does Ready Rosie have something that can help me out? And then the last thing I'll say before I honestly open it up for questions is I just want to reiterate what Shauna said about giving us feedback on what you guys want and what your teachers want, so that when we do offer the trainings, you're getting what you the training that you want. We've already talked about doing some integration of creative curriculum with Ready Rosie if you are a cloud user and things like that, and then differentiating those levels, because again, if you've been using Ready Rosie for 3 years, you don't need a reminder on how to set your classrooms up or things like that. So on those surveys, really let us know what things you want covered. So now I'll take your questions.
There is one question from Teresa in Boone County. So Boone County District is one of those districts where they would maybe have a childcare center, a preschool, a family childcare home, who maybe some of those kids are in the same program. So Teresa's question is, if children are in a preschool and have Ready Rosie at daycare, the daycare puts the family in, and she's hoping to send out more videos specific to what's learning in school. So how would she include those families? So can you talk a little bit about being enrolled, the process of children maybe being in multiple programs and those programs all having Ready Rosie?
Yes. Okay. Full transparency. It's a wonky system for that. So here are, because the accounts are tied to either an email or a cell phone number, or both of those or whatever. And so if my email address is the account and it is with a daycare, and then you create a classroom in another entity or another classroom, all of that data is going to show up in both of those places. Okay, so when you click on your little classroom that you've created with just the children that you want to see, you also are going to see whatever the daycare has sent out, and they've happened to, and they've watched, because it's tied to that. It's tied to that parent's email or cell phone number. So if that doesn't matter, is that what you're, I want to make sure that I'm getting it, that I'm understanding it. So the child is in 2 different places, correct? Okay. So if that is important, that data be separate, like you want to see just what what they're watching that you are sending out, then you could create a classroom with those children and either use, if they didn't use a cell phone number, use a cell phone number, or use a different email address so that it would then be tied to your class and it would not be shared with that other email or cell phone number. Does that make sense? Okay, all right. And so if it doesn't matter, then then you can just create your own class. If you don't need all of those children that are in the daycare class, just create a class with yours, and you can send things out with them. But just know that when you click on, let me just show you. sorry, my computer. So let's say that whenever you click on a child, we'll just click on Zoe here in my demo class. It shows you she's connected to 10 different classrooms. Because we all wanted Zoe in our class when we created our demo class. So you can see that. But this total video views that she and her family have done, that represents all the videos that may have been sent from Terrific Team or Early Head Start or Miss Patty or any of those classrooms, because they are all tied to that one either email or cell phone number. If you wanted your own, then you could go in and create your classroom. And so then when you look down here on the bottom of her individual record, I don't know, if she watched during the hurricane safety affirming, emotions. I don't know if she watched that on her own. They were just exploring the library and mom decided to watch it. I don't know if another teacher sent it out. I might know that I sent it out or I didn't send it out. So this is going to represent any stuff that is sent out to that one email. So again, if you want to have your data separate, then you'll need to set your class up and use, an email or a cell phone number that is not being used. So, all right. Other questions?
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
If a teacher inadvertently unarchived one of their classrooms from last year, is there a way that we can re-archive that, or do we just need to let you know?
You just send me an email and say, please re-archive, and I would need the class name and the teacher's name and email address. Yeah.
Okay. And then my other question is, as I was looking at data, so when I go into the school and the teachers, on the video viewed, for example, I'm seeing a certain number under that teacher's name, but when I click on their name and it takes me into their classroom, I'm seeing a completely different number for the videos viewed. And so I'm trying to figure out what's the right data.
Right. Okay. That's a good question. You shouldn't, so we're clicking on teachers here.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a different number. Oh my God.
And I will say I'm doing this from the admin.
Right. Yeah. I'm in a school admin. Oh my gosh, my computer is just spinning. Okay. So it looks like,
so let's say for Rhonda, I'm where there's 37, but then when I would click on Rhonda's name for that video viewed, then it's changing. It's not 37 and it's significantly different.
Okay. All right. I'm making myself a note too, so I can check or ask our tech team too.
Yeah, see, and even in this one, it looks like she has multiple classrooms, but none of those add up to 37.
Right, yeah. No, because this one right here is 34, yeah. Okay, let me double check, Sarah, and I'll send the answer to Shauna.
Okay.
So that she can send it out to everybody, but I'll also copy you on it as well.
Perfect, thank you, Teddy.
Hey, Teddy, can you add me to that too?
Yes. Of course. I know that they've been working really hard on integrating it with the family engagement app with teaching strategies and everything. And there've been these kind of different weird things, and they will say things like, and not being a tech person, I don't quite understand it, nor do I have patience for it, but they'll say things like, oh, that was an unintended consequence when we rolled such and such out. So I will find the answer out and get back to you guys.
Hey,
All
Teddy,
right.
on the follow-up from the question that Teresa had, Amber
Mhm.
Taylor wants to know if a family shares the same email between multiple students, then is a video count shared between those two students since they share the same email?
Yes, yes, yes. So again, if there's a child in the 3-year-old class and brother is in the 4-year-old class and they're using that same email address, their data, unfortunately, will be the combination of both.
When
Any
I
question?
untangle that data, just so you know how I do it. So when I pull it, I pull each individual like child roster, and
Mhm.
then I divide the videos out so you can look at child, like how many videos per child were viewed. So it gives a little more accurate than what's just listed on the dashboard, just so you
Mhm.
know.
Teddy, can you show how to get to that
How to get to the data by view?
by child? Yeah.
Yes. Hold on just a second. Let me move this out of the way.
While
I
you're
will-
looking,
Yeah, go ahead.
while you're looking, one of the questions was if, I'm sure, we will absolutely share Teddy's email. Teddy's email is incorporated in most of the communication that we send out. Should all questions go to Teddy? And I will say, yes, if you're having questions, if something's not working right, or it just doesn't seem to be matching up, Teddy is a great one to reach out to. Although in order to avoid, since we have potentially 13,350 programs, if not more, you not necessarily Teddy always being the contact, but if it is just something that you're not, that you want a question about getting started, you can send it to me or send it to Teddy. That's fine. We will be happy to help you with that. But also, if it's anything that you can wait until the office hours, so then you can specifically use Teddy's time to use that for the one-on-one time during those office hours. If you're unable to be part of those office hours, that's fine. I know, Teddy's always great about getting back to everybody. I just don't also want to overwhelm either her or I with multiple emails of something that maybe could wait until an office hour to be addressed. But if it is truly something that's not working right and you're just not sure, please feel free to send an email to Teddy and I, and we will be happy to help if we can.
All right, so to see video views by child. Now, one thing that I discovered actually on another account, that when you, this great filter by date feature, it will show you this data on your district admin view. You can filter by date, but when you filter by date and then download all the students, it does not download it filtered by that date. So I found that out the hard way. But what you do is you click on download all students. Amy, is this how you do it? And then when you click on that, it will actually show you all the names of the children and their teacher, and then how many video views they had. But again, if you don't, it will not do it for if you're trying to filter it by a particular date. So one thing that I did want to going back to what Shauna said is when teachers are in their teacher view, one thing, this getting started button again is should be their best friend, because these are all little Loom videos that will refresh their memory on how to do things. But this right here where it says, if you're experiencing technical difficulties, please submit a support case. I really encourage you guys and your teachers to use that if it's a parent who's having a problem. Like if a parent forgot their password or a parent is seeing a weird view or something like that. Because I don't have access to the parent information. And so unless it's something that I can just real quickly, say, oh, I usually have to end up forwarding it on to Hillary, our support person. So if it's if it's a parent who's having a problem, just encourage your teachers to click on that support case and then send it, it'll go right to Hillary. getting to it, sorry. The other thing I want to say, probably last year, the most frequent issue that parents had and the most common email, and I could answer this one, was a lot of your teachers were saying, my parents are saying they need a code. My parents are saying they need a code. They do not need a code. What that tells me when they say they need a code is that they have downloaded the Ready Rosie app from the App Store, and they're trying to use that before they have accepted that initial invitation. And so it's fine if they want to download the app. It's limiting, like they won't get your playlist if you send a playlist out to them, and they can't comment back and forth with the teacher on the app, but they can explore the library, they can watch the videos and all those things. So if you have a parent that comes to you and says, hey, I need a code, you need to make sure that they have accepted the invitation, and then they just sign in on the app like they would. They don't register. I think a lot of parents think, oh, it's an app, I have to register, but they have to accept that invitation first, and then they just sign in like they would. So, okay. What other questions?
I'm not seeing anything specifically that has come through for you, Teddy. There is one question about that timeline, because there are some people who are brand new to Ready Rosie, just wanting to review that timeline. I do have it ready. I can share here when we wrap up, but I do want to at least give the opportunity for those of you who might have questions for Teddy now to use this time to ask her. If not, then we can move forward and I can just kind of show that timeline. We can share those, again, those open office hour dates, and then kind of let you know how that will be shared out with you after today. So any other specific questions for Teddy for Ready Rosie?
Hi, I just want to confirm that the participant list has been created for this school year. Is that accurate?
When you say participant, do you mean schools, teachers, or do you mean classrooms?
Our classroom teachers are saying that they don't have access to Ready Rosie yet for this year.
Okay, what program are you with? And I will double check.
Those were sent as spreadsheets for Educare Calumet, Educare Indian Hill.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, those
We
spreadsheets
uploaded all of those. Yes, yes. In fact, I was just Maria wanted to be added. So let me double check, because I know we sent that on. So I'm making myself a note.
Andrea, are you saying some of your new teachers don't? Did they get the Welcome to Ready Rosie email so that they can create a password and get on?
I just received an email yesterday from one of our veteran teachers that said that they don't have access to Ready Rosie. So that's why I'm very new.
Okay.
I just began, so I'm not questioning if it was sent or not.
Sure.
I just want to make sure to give them the answer. I know Maria used to do for both centers, but I'm the ops coordinator now. So she's going to continue to assist me, but I just want to know for myself.
One thing is, just so you know, if they had an account last year, then they still have that account.
Okay.
They don't lose that account, or they don't have to re-account each year. And let me show all of you all, and Andrew, I will check as soon as we get off this call. But if you just have one teacher, and I'm sure some of you all probably have more, but sometimes you just have one new teacher, and you can always send it to me, but sometimes that takes longer to do the email and everything. But with your access, you can actually add an additional teacher just by clicking on teachers and then coming over here. If you're in district view, you click on the school and then click this gear, add teachers, and then you just put their first name, last name, email, and click add, and they will be automatically added to your program. So some people say, I would just rather add them myself. It's just one, it's easier, but you can always send them to me as well. But Andrew, I will double check and get an answer for you.
Yeah, Andrea, if she's a veteran teacher, if she just goes to the Ready Rosie homepage and goes to login and enters her email, if she doesn't remember her password, she could reset her password. If she remembers her password, she can put her password in and then she should have access. I don't
Right,
know if
she
she's tried that or not, but that would be one way to
Mhm.
go.
And I will tell you also, if you need an email reset, when they click that reset button, that goes to a different help desk and it is not as fast. So if it's a reset button, I can do that for a teacher and I can do that pretty quickly. So if a teacher needs their email reset, just send me an email and say, with their email and say, please reset password. So I can
And
do that.
Diane, I know you put in the messages to me too that you want admin access or school access to the Creek Sixpence group. So we will double check on that to make sure that you get added for that. So, and that's an easy way. So for any of you who need district access, school access, as well as teacher access, quick email to me, we get it to Teddy, we get you added right away. Sometimes it takes 24 hours for it to show up, but we will.
Yes.
Same if you maybe are district access, but you don't have school or teacher access and you would like to have that. Again, shoot us a quick email, we'll get you on there. So it's not hard to do that if you let us know kind of what access you need depending on what your program looks like. So I also think maybe, Andrea, we will get you added as district, school, and teacher access for your Educare.
Yeah.
So that you can then also see on your side all of those different views, which will be helpful to you too.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Other than that, any other questions for Teddy?
Well, this is Carolyn in North Platte, and our Sixpence program is not fully up and running yet. So I am not certain if they will want to have their home visitors use this, but is it better to at least hold an account or a classroom or a place for them now, or just add them later when we find out how much they would plan to use it?
Caroline, for now, I would not add them. And then when they get going, if they're interested, then let me know and we'll get them added into a classroom.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to do a quick share of what we've been working on behind the scenes. So this is something that's Ready Rosie, our teaching strategy, shared with the Department of Ed and myself when we were kind of doing some planning of some benchmark dates. And I will say, I know I have continued to send kind of the Nebraska Children Timeline Expectations, which is kind of based off of the work we've done on this. Again, it has changed. And as of yesterday, it has changed again. We're just kind of coming to the expectation and realization that brand new programs are having a little bit of time, just not getting onto it as quick as we had hoped, maybe just being overwhelmed with all types of things and not having the time to actually really sit down and get things going. So as you can see, what we have on there is create a classroom, and I have to move my pictures here, and have your Ready Rosie invites by November 5th. So that's been pushed back, I believe, a week from the last one that we had sent, and resending your pending invitations by November 12th. So this is probably not going to change. We are going to stick with these dates. So if you are a brand new Ready Rosie program, brand new administrator, teacher, whatever that looks like, we really do want to have your classrooms set up by November 5th, which means invitations need to be out. Classrooms up, invitations out, any of your pending invitations by the 12th, so that all of the caregivers that are part of your classroom are all getting access to Ready Rosie. Those invitations, and if you need to know how to do that, again, if you go back to the Ready Rosie site, there is a loop, the videos to show you all how to do that. So if you need to go back to review that, please do so. But also, just like we said, we'll have the opportunity for office hours for districts, admins, center admins, preschool admins, as well as teachers here this next month too. So if they need help with that this coming month in October, they should have all the support that they need to get that going. There's even recordings of all of those. So feel confident that we are providing enough opportunity for anybody who's having some responsibility with Ready Rosie to have some teaching time to do that. So then we have on there, send a customized Ready Rosie playlist to caregivers by December 3rd. So again, kind of our expectation is for those who have those classrooms set up, which everybody should, is to be able then to pick out the playlist that they would like to incorporate into their family engagement piece of extending learning from the classroom to the home and get playlists sent out. I would love to see a message sent with those playlists and encouraging parents to message back after they've tried it, or at least do some kind of thumbs up after they tried it, or getting some kind of reply that that was done. So with the playlist or the video sent out, that you're also asking parents to respond to give you feedback on what you sent. And then, of course, using Ready Rosie as part of a family engagement activity, parent teacher conference, or Give Me 10 family workshop or parent meeting by the end of December. So most of our programs do have a family engagement goal incorporated into the work that they do. So we feel confident that Ready Rosie can somehow easily be incorporated in this. If you are not actively doing family engagement, then hopefully we can have some trainings for you before December so that we can show you how and share ideas of how other people do family engagement. So again, we also anticipate, instead of the process of being me that kind of goes through and verifies that teachers or classrooms qualified for the incentive, sending that to district supervisors and having district supervisors confirm that, it is going to be more of a Google document, and teachers or district managers are going to have to take the responsibility then to send the reports to us and show us the documentation that that was done. So we are thinking that incorporating that into the playlist piece of this. So going back to where you can look at the playlists that are sent out, taking some kind of screenshot of that, and that would be the documentation to show that the teacher did actually send a playlist. So the incentive would be 1 incentive per classroom. So if you have 3 teachers assigned to a classroom, it'll be 1 teacher for that classroom who sent out a playlist between the 3, no matter whatever 3 it was, as long as there was a playlist sent out that represents that classroom. That's how we will track it. So that Google Doc hasn't been created yet, but it will be soon, and we will send it out to everyone. So if you already have that done, you can already start uploading to that Google Doc. So the sooner you can upload, the better. And that way we can start ticking through those incentives. More than likely, we will also have those incentives will be Lakeshore materials. There'll be 4 or 5 on that Google Doc to pick from. You will just check the box of the one that you want for that classroom. So once you upload your documentation, you'll check the box of what you want sent to your classroom, and then we will get that all to Lakeshore, and then your classrooms will be receiving their incentive. Any questions on that piece of it? I might check. I'm going to do a quick check. Go ahead, Teddy.
I was going to say, the question was asked, our content goes from birth through 3rd grade, and you and your families have access to that entire range of content. And then the Give Me 10s are our 10-minute family workshops. And with our family workshops and the Give Me 10s, you get the PowerPoint presentation, the facilitator guide. If we have handouts, there's a flyer you can use to get the word out about it and things like that. So,
okay, I'm just doing a quick look at the chat, because as I was talking, I didn't have access to it to see if there's anything else, or if anybody just wants to speak up. If you put something in chat and I'm missing it, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
Nicole, yes. She asked, is there a way to send a saved playlist to just one parent in a classroom? You would copy the URL for that playlist. You know, when you click on the playlist, there's a, URL that you can copy, and then you could just email it or text it to that family, or share it through a comment to that family. That's a good idea, to send them a welcome playlist. I like that.
Shauna, did you say you would be sending out that dates and expectations calendar sheet? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And like I said, feel free, if you have higher expectations than we have on those dates. If you have higher expectations for your staff for benchmark date timelines, feel free to implement them within your own program. And if they've met it, our expectations, and we have our Google Doc ready to send out to you, then you can start uploading at any time. And that way we have not waiting until like last minute to collect that information that we need to get to Lakeshore.
Andrea, I was just looking real quickly and it looks like we did that teacher upload on the 20th, but I can, dig a little bit farther just to make sure that it, but when I go in and look at it, it says that's when we did it. So,
Okay, and I think my question, I don't think that I asked it correctly. The classroom setup for the students,
mhm.
is that uploaded by you or is that something that the teachers need to do?
The teachers, go ahead, Shauna.
The teachers can do it, but if you have a document ready to go, they can do a bulk upload for those teachers if that's easier. But most cases, most teachers set them up on their own, but that Ready Rosie can do it if you have document ready for them to just do a bulk upload.
Yeah, if you want us to do the bulk upload of your families, email me and I'll send you the template because there is some information that we need that you might not think of. So it's real easy. So okay.
Okay.
So that has not been done. I can tell you that. So
Okay, I think we will wrap it up. Just to let you know, expectation from me, there's a couple of things. Because classrooms are not set up in every program, getting my listserv organized as to who is currently an active teacher and who is not. I can't do that until I know who is actually a teacher assigned to a classroom versus just teachers not assigned to a classroom, because teachers not assigned to a classroom can be old staff and it can be new staff. So I am in the process of getting my listserv for Ready Rosie organized so that the people who are actually utilizing it are getting communications from me, as well as adding the new people who are coming on to Ready Rosie and the role that you are in. So have some grace. If you get excluded and somebody gets it and you didn't get added, just shoot me a quick email and say I need to be added to this listserv. I will get you added as soon as I can. If there's a few people who aren't utilizing Ready Rosie and they're saying, hey, why am I getting these? I'm done. Again, if you just let me know, I'll get them off. So I'm in the process of doing that. It takes time. It's not just a matter of copying emails and pasting. You have to click on every teacher individually and then copy that email and then put it in a listserv. So it does take some time. I will follow up after today and include the timeline that I shared with you so that you all can look at those dates and kind of maybe pencil them in on your calendars so that you can either yourself get those accomplished or support whoever you're supporting as your admin role to get that accomplished. I will make sure that I send those district admins, or I'm just going to call them admins because admins look different in every case. It could be a district admin, you could be a center admin, you could be a preschool admin. I will make sure I get you those links so that if you want to access those admin office hours, which would be a great time to do the 101 piece of it that a couple of you were asking for. I would encourage you to access Ready Rosie now and just start looking through it and get yourself familiar with it. Click on the resource videos and do all of those kinds of things, and then use those office hours to follow up questions on some of that. And then I will also make sure that you get the teacher office hours, those links and those dates. So if you want to directly share them with your teachers so they have access, then you will have those as well. So that's what I will do after today. Then I'm hoping that after say October, we have a more specific training list ready for you guys. So you all know what trainings are coming up, who those would be geared toward. And again, if they would be intermediate, so maybe some more 101 type work, or if they would be more advanced for those to really do a deep dive into Ready Rosie. Everything maybe you didn't know that Teddy can teach you. So that's my expectation. So any questions on what you will get from me or what you need from me or need from Teddy from here on out? All right. Looks good. I thank you all for spending your lunch hour, or if you are in the mountain time zone, the 11 o'clock hour with us. I truly do appreciate it. And like I said, we do want you to be successful users of Ready Rosie. We want your families to benefit the family engagement piece that this is designed for. So we are here for you and want to support you the best we can.
Shauna, can I just say, just real quickly, I want to answer this question to the group because other may, when teachers say they don't have access to their last year's classrooms or their classrooms, that means that's because their classrooms are archived. And so let me just show you real quickly. And if you need to get off, that's fine. I completely understand. But I want to show you just real quickly. Well, shoot, hold on. That's what we were talking about earlier. We don't want them to unarchive their classroom. And so that means that they or we have to create their classroom for the new school year. So when they're in their classroom, when they click on classrooms and they scroll down, they should see archived classrooms if they had a classroom last year. And when they click on that, their previous classrooms will show up. They can access them. They can click on it. They can see the children. They can see the data for that year. They can see all of that. We just ask that they don't restore it because then it does start making it confusing on the current year's data. So so they should be able to see it under that archived place right there. So all right.
Teddy, is that the same for year-round programs?
If you have a school year, and that's something that you guys can tell me, a lot of the year-round programs, it just is this ongoing, a lot of them just want it ongoing and they filter for date. For a date range. However, some will say, well, we actually stop, July 31st and then August 1st actually starts a new year or whatever. And we set those so that at midnight on that, July 31st, those classes are archived and then you can start brand new. So the way that you would tell that you have your program is archived is, just real quickly, is when you are in your in any of your views or your district view and everything, it will say up here, it will select, like our demo class is not, we just archived classrooms to get them out of the way. But up here where it says school year, if you have a school year set, then it would say 2021, 2022. If it just says cumulative, then we did not set a school year for your program. So
I do think, Teddy, though, for data collection on our end, anybody under Nebraska Children, I'm going to assume this is going to be true for the Department of Ed, at July 31st, we archived every classroom because for data for us, the cumulative piece, it's really, really hard to track then afterwards. So I will say we didn't give anybody a choice this year. If you were part of Nebraska Children, we let everybody know, emails went out and just said, just know your classrooms are going to be archived after July 31st. Starting August 1, all new classrooms will need to be set up. So you might not have the choice of being cumulative. I'm just going to put that out there because it does make it makes it very difficult for us to get accurate data. Although it is super easy to pull up classrooms from archived, don't re-archive them, but just pull them back up out of those archive files into your classroom to get going again. Also, if they stay in archive and you don't go back and do that, then your families no longer get the Monday Ready Rosie videos. So they won't get those until they're put back into a classroom.
And just if for some reason you don't see a drop down box that says cumulative and then 2001, 2022, send me an email so I can double check because it could have just been overlooked. But usually that's, we set that to be automatic, but who knows? So just let me know. Okay.
Okay.
And I can double check.
Perfect. Thank
All right.
you.
All right, it is officially 1 o'clock. So we are going to dismiss you all. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks.